mutuyambe mutugobere ku UNBS walalalala kuba gwanga mujje President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mutuyambe mutugobere UNBS kubanga UNBS yesinza okuleeta obulwadde bwa kansa yesinza okuleeta obulwadde bwa sirimu yesinza okuleeta ebirwadde byonna kubanga yekkiriza ebiddagala bye baleeta ne bafuuyira ku birime bye tulya ne bagoba eddagala ku maketi ogenda okulaba wansi nga gyeriri liba likolayo ki wemba temulina monitoring tool tujja bayamba Office of the National Chairman tulina structures paka ku ground tujja bawa ku manpower naye mutuguza batuguza ebintu ebifu ebiddagala ne babiteeka ku birime byaffe we babiteeka ku birime ne tubirya ne tufuna agalwadde kyovola infection tezituggwako olujja mugamba mu ddwaliro temuli malagala. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ebyo bibiina ekyo ekitongole kyekyo tuyambe ate togoba just ba bosses oyinza okukyusa boss naye olina kukyusa abo bateknocrats abo abakebera abakebeza abo obanga omuntu agenza okebeza sirimu mu ddwaliro ne bagamba nti oli negative ate n'ogende wala ne kalaga positive kati ye UNBS yammwe. Ekyokubiri obuuziza ku nsigo ensigo era zezimu ziddayo ku UNBS lwaki tukkiriza okugula ensigo enfu ngate tulina basayantisi bakola ki babasasula kukola ki mutugamba mukola innovation buli kaseera mbuzima abasayantisi mubongeza ssente mubongeza buli kimu kati wemba mubongeza abanasayansi abakebezi b'ebyo ebintu mubongeza ssente zonna muzibawadde ez'omusolo ngate be bakkiriza ensigo enfu zigulibwe yo ziyitawa aba revenue authority bino ebintu mukkiriza mutya biyingire kati bakyuse revenue authority bakyuse ne UNBS kubanga be balemereddwa be babikkiriza ne babiyingiza bamala obiyingiza ne babiguza abalimi omulimu tagenda kwawula owo mu kyalo eri ayawule nti kana akadagala kajja kukola ku birime tekajja kukola ezo ensigo enfu zo ziba ziyitawa kitegeeza mpozi nga mutugamba nti waliwo kampani eri wano ey'ekicupuli nga yo ekola nsigo nfu naye waba tewali kampani eriwo nga ya mukulu mu gavumenti nti ekola nsigo nfu then UNBS eggalwewo ne Uganda Revenue Authority eggalwewo kubanga be babikkiriza okuyingira mu Uganda. Kyetugwadde tugezaako nti omutindo oba ebirime bisigala webiba weebiri biriwe below the belt webiba tebiriiwo kitegeeza webiba weebiri mu bungi tebituukagana oba tosobola bikolamu kyamakulu nakubifunamu ssente kubanga mwatuzza mu nkola ey'okuddamu okulongoosereza ate webiba tebiriiwo kitegeeza nti gavumenti tefuddeeyo nnyo kulaba nti nno oba Ministry ya Agriculture tefuddeeyo nnyo kulaba nti nno abantu abalimi baweebwa ebirime ebituufu babirime bwe tuba tugamba ku yadde katutuusa mu naye namumuli bwe tuba twogera ku byenfuna ebyayaddeyaddeko tetugenda kubeera basibe abatasobola kwogerako olwokubadde nti tutya ovumwa tuvuddeyo leero mutuvume ebituufu naye tetugenda kugumiikiriza nga Office of the National Chairman kubanga mu kawaayiro mwessemateeka wa NRM 14 kya egamba nti tukole ebyo byonna kasita bibeera nga birungi eri National Chairman oba pate yaffe oba eggwanga lyaffe mukakasa nti tutuukiriza ebiruubirirwa byaffe n'ebyabannayuganda mu bulambulukufu. So kyovola batuvuddeyo n'enkola gye tugambye naye ngenda gyogera mu luzungu bannange okutumbula okutumbula oba okututumula nga tuyita mu nnongosereze ey'okulima eya kalimagezi oba eya tekinologi oba eya sayansi okukakasa nti ki tukyusa enkola ey'obulimi okulaba nti neggwanga teriddamu kufa kyeya. Twolekedde ekyeya era omwaka ogujja tusuubira nti ekyeya kigenda kubeera nga percentage etuuse ku 50% of which kati ffe nga abaanoonya akalulu abalwana okulaba nti pulezidenti ayitamu ffe kiba tekitukolera kubanga bye bagenda otulangira batuvume. Naye kino kyonna weekiri olw'ensonga nti ensimbi zadivatingibwa sijjaga nti zakumpanyizibwa wabula zakyusibwa ne ziva ensimbi ezalina okugula ebirime kubanga abantu baba beetaaga endokwa baba beetaaga ensigo baba beetaaga ensigo ng'ate era beetaaga ebigimusa ng'ate era beetaaga amazzi agagenda okufukirira ebintu ebyo okulaba nti nno bivaamu emmere ennungi. Tetugenda kwekwasa mbeera ya budde naye tubeereko serious omulundi ogusooka nti obwavu bubunye eggwanga ne ssente entono ezitambula mu bantu kubanga n'abakola bizinesi ez'enjawulo eggwanga temuli ssente naye tugenda kusirika. Tetugenda kusirika nga bannayuganda kubanga ekintu ekyandifujjiridde ebyo oba ekyandibikiridde ebyo kyandibadde kya bulimi. Saawa zino tuli past time obudde butuweddeko tuyingira season naye season buli muntu yonna gwe twabaddeko mu byalo ebimu naye abantu nga bagamba nga tetulina nsigo. Pulezidenti Yoweri Kaguta Museveni eno ensonga ejja gy'oli kubanga buli kimu tukiroopera gwe. Eggwanga temuli nsigo kubanga ne mwayinze mutugamba nti zigende tuyingire mu gundi tuyingire mu nkola eya organization eyo gye mwateekawo egenda okwasaganya ebyemmwanyi. Tebalina nsigo, ensigo ntono ate n'ekyokulala n'eziriyo endokwa emu bagituguza ku 3,000. Kati katugambe nti tulinze ssente za parish development model. Ssente za parish development model bwe tuba twali twagala abantu abalimi bazifunemu zandibadde zaafuluma dda nga muzituwadde nga zigenze mu balimi ku buli parish. Naye essaawa zino ssente tezinnatuuka mu parish ezi tuziwulira mu bigambo ti gavumenti yatadde obuwumbi bwe buti obutabalika naye nga in the actual sense ssente teziriiwo, ssente tezinnalabikako. Kati oyo omulimi gw'oyagala akwate miliyoni eyo agigulemu ensigo agenda zigula ddi nga season already eyiseeko egenda kuggwako. Season eyinza okuba weeneetuukira ekiseera nga okukola ssente bwe zinaatuuka okufunika nga season ejja kuba egenze. Kati oyagala omulimi agoyingewa ave mu ggwanga agenda anoonya ekibanja ewalala agendewa kubanga ssente ze yali afunanga ezagulanga ensigo mwazikyusa ne muziteeka mu department emu kubanga abafujjirizi n'ab'obuugi bw'obunyama baamatiza pulezidenti nti kano ke katujja mu bwavu ke kataasa Uganda. Senga ke kataasa Uganda Karamoja tebafuna parish development model bandibadde tebafa njala. Naye kati enjala weeri ate si wokka n'ebitundu ebyenjawulo ne mu Kampala wano waliwo abakyasula nga tebalina wadde ekyokulya. Kati nze ekyo nkizzaayo nti senga mwatulekera ebyobulimi ne bisigala byo nga temubikutteemu abantu ne basigala nga bafuna ensigo ez'obwereere kubanga mwaboonoona. Abalimi mwaboonoona mubawo ensigo ez'obwereere. Ebyo otunuulira kiro y'ennyama ya 2,200 kwebiri mu 12,000 ekyo ekibirinyisa kubanga oli atunuulira emmere gy'erya ebisagazi ebiwata by'amatooke omuddo teguliiwo kubanga n'amazzi gennyini agafukirira tegakola ki. Kati onoofukirira gundi onoofukirira lumbugu. So ffe ne tuvaayo ne tusalawo tulonkinge campaign eyo era tuwandikidde Ministry ya Agriculture nti ensigo ze mugaba obenda okweza emmwanyi ntono tezimala. Mwajjawo ebyamajaani, amajaani gaali gayambako okwongera ku ssente eziyingira mu ggwanga, mwabijjawo percentage eri ku 0.8%. Simanyi kati oba yasse yeeyongedde ne kanookuka. Ne mutugamba abalimi b'amajaani ate nga bangi bakyuse babive mbadde mu nkola ey'okulima endala. Naye eddala oli yazimye essamba lye ery'amajaani diri kuyika nga 5 oba ku 10. Omugamba otya nti gonna agatemewo ate akole ekirala olwokubadde tewali police tebazikolera mu nnimiro, zikolebwa abantu. Mwe ba policy makers mwe mulina otukolera policies. Kati policy oba togikoze gitaddeho etaasa abamajaani, kitegeeza oba toyambye Munnayuganda. Twalina cotton era nga abantu bamutugulako nga ekyo ekimu ekyokwenyumiriza kye tuyina, naye gundiza amasamba gonna aga cotton mwagagisaanyaawo. Kati ate tugenda ne tugula engoye ebweru ne tugenda ne tuzisuubula e China nga mutugamba mutuleetera ba investors bakole ki mu engoye bazikolere wano. Kyokka cotton owaffe yennyini mwamusaanyaawo gwe twafunangamu ssente. Kati ate tugende tufune cotton okuva ebweru bamuleete wano aba China bamukolemu engoye ate ffe tuzibaguleko ddala. Simanyi oba nze musiru ennyo atategeera oba waliwo omusiru omulala akola ekintu kino, kubanga nze kulwange okusaidi yange ku magezi gange amatono ndaba tebikwatagana. Kati byonna abantu bye baalimanga tebiriiwo. Ndikubanga mpulira n'ejjinja eyo ebikajjo simanyi mugenda kubitemayo oba kati muddemu ki. Kati abasoga mwagala bagoyinge wabalime kiduuma embooli bakole ki, ate n'edduuma naye ensigo teziriiwo. Amaido wazira. Kati bannange tukole ki? Naye waliwo ddala omuntu alwana Museveni, waliwo omuntu alwana President Museveni, waliwo amukoye mu ntebe naye President tannazuukuka. Naye tujja muyamba azuukuke, kubanga bino ebintu bye twogerako biruma Munnayuganda. Munnayuganda yalonda President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yamuwa akalulu. Ebyenfuna by'eggwanga we biba tubibeesingira nga tutunuulira ku bye tusuubula ebweru n'ebiyingira, nga tetutunuulira bungi ki bwe tutunda kuva mu Uganda kufulumya bweru, tuba tetukyetaaga regional integration, kubanga tuba tugenda kuteeka kuki ku board tewali. Kati mututuma genda Kenya tugule obuwunga, tugule emmwanyi, tugule biki byonna tubigule Kenya, tubigule Tanzania, tugule mwajjawo entobazi. Mwaye entobazi semwagala bazigende bazirimiranga mu luli omuceere, era ogwo omuceere gwali guwoomanga nnyo oba baguyitanga ta super wayo Upland Kaiso Simaya biki. Kati omuceere tuguteega Tanzania. Ennyaanya ennungi enjimu, bino ebinyaanya bye mulaba bikapaapala ebyo biva Kenya, ebyo ebinyirivu. Emiyembe emirungi giva Kenya. Kati tukola ki? President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mu operation yaffe ey'okuzuukusa waliwo bye tutagenda kugumira, kuba kati olaba buli kimu tuba tugenda kijja Kenya Tanzania biki. Kati ffe tukola ki? Yes, Uganda is a landlocked country, naye naffe twekwasizako kubadde bulimi, n'obulimi babukuttemu. Mwatugamba vanira, ensi yonna n'erima vanira ne mumala ne musala emiwendo. Panaye tuli kuki? So tuvuddeyo nga tutaddewo enkola eyo ey'okulwana okulaba nti tuboostinga micro agriculture production and processing mu ngeri yonna gye tunaasobola. Tuleme kwekwasa climate change gakumbe ensigo ze zitaliiwo. Tuleme kwekwasa irrigation yet tebidibwa ebidiba wava amazzi tebiriiwo. Tuleme kwekwasa nti mbusimanya tewali fertilizers nga n'obusawe twandize mu nte ne tukola mu fertilization ne tukola fertilization egenda okuyamba okufertilizing ebitooke byaffe nayo teriiwo nga tetulina vu kubanga ne kamulali yennyini omulimu okunteekamu okutta ebiwuka naye era tunoonya nsigo. Ensigo zetugamba zetugenda okujja e Bulaaya. Kati tuli mu Kiuganda kikino nga oba ebyobulimi bikwatiddwamu abafere babikuttemu. Abafere ba Museveni bakutte mu byobulimi, abafere ba Museveni bakutte mu byenjigiriza, abafere be bakutte mu byenguudo, buli kimu bakikuttemu, naye ebirala byonna byandiganye naye ng'emmere weeri. Awo nsuubira Munnayuganda yandibadde agumaagumako, naye obanga tulina percentage efe enjala tetugenda kikkiriza ng'abazzukulu b'eggwanga lino, era tugenda kuvaayo mayi mujja kunvuma mu nnumbe mukole kisitidde ze namanyira naguba. Era nze ne ofiisi yaffe ffenna nga bwe tuli tugenda kulaba nti tukola ennongoosereza n'okukyukiriza mujja kugamba tubikola ng'abantu. Peace be upon you all. The same peace that was availed to us by the Almighty Lord and later on created by our dear Judge who accepted to avail us with the necessary peace and stability. We are good to go, but besides that, the aim of this particular conference is a bit technical, whereby it's our mandate as the Bazukulu of this nation to talk about it. We, as Office of the National Chairperson of the Mighty Movement, we were mandated to monitor the implementation of government policies, of which we have coordinators all over the country. But as per our movements, our monitoring system, there are things we can't afford to lose. We have things we are meant to talk about in public through creating awareness and as well urging government, because as we are speaking right now, the whole country is thinking in poverty. It's thinking in poverty. Yes, I'll talk about the poverty because I'm talking about the 80% at the moment who are thinking in poverty, including myself and you all. But we were trying to look at what is the root cause of all this. Yet we have government programs that we are brought on board to encounter or to do the poverty eradication, of which maybe they have not lived to their full expectations, or because we have undermined the power of the country. When I talk about the power of the country, I mean where is our target as Ugandans? What keeps Uganda high? We are tired of begging for air to breathe. Rather, we need to be the air to itself. I know you guys are going to misinterpret me, but I couldn't package it well enough rather than calling it that. Today, our main objective is to talk about the agricultural sector. That has really become a disaster at the moment. We need food. We need food, we need the water to live. But at the moment, if we have areas like Karamoja, Burundi, Bududa, and those parts of the north, and people are dying because of what? Because of anger. So we are supposed to keep quiet. We are looking at where the problem is. And today we are here to talk about the problem, and we seek for a solution for the problem, and we urge the president, because I think somewhere, somehow, technocrats misguided the national chairman. And me as a chief Muzukulu and my other fellow Bazukulu, we won't allow to die like that. Yet we can talk about the problem. Even if we are fighting corruption. But what about people who can't afford a meal? And what about the farmers who can't afford the seedlings? If Uganda had its main factor as coffee, tea, cotton, and at the moment we are not seeing the impact as Ugandans. Are we moving forward, or we are moving backward? That is the main theme of today's what? At least a little elaborative, but as per our research, we tried to see where the problem is. Is it the climate change? Are they the technocrats? Is it the diversion? Because you guys, most of the people say that they love the national chairman or the president of the Republic of Uganda, but in the actual sense, when they are celebrating his downfall. The agricultural sector itself has become doomed. We won't blame the climate change, because we have to prepare for all that. But now we are talking about a season that is yet to begin. But in the actual sense, there are no seedlings. The president and the nerds and the wealth creators, the wealth creation creators before, they used to avail us with necessary seedlings to do the needful or to go in for farming. But what are we going to plant? You're telling us there is no food. You're talking about the market. What are we going to sell? Minus the market. And minus having the products to sell. We are looking at the regional integration. What are we going to integrate? Regional cooperation with words, with mindset change, with what? Because I think that the best way of doing it would be easing the marketing sector by buying products from either countries. That could add more value. But as Ugandans, at the moment, we are sticking in poverty, the scarcity of resources, the production sector is down. So we are launching a campaign as Office of the National Chairman and all the other coordinators. Because I know people are going to start asking questions. You're speaking as who? Or is that part of your mandate? But following the guidelines of our NRA Constitution, Article 14H, that talks about doing any other business as long as it's for the good of the national chairperson and the good of the party, to enhance proper implementation of government policies. We are speaking in that category. Because I usually witness with TikTokers, who is Namyalo? You're talking as who? I'm talking as that. As a chief Muzukulu, a political assistant to the national chairman, and as per the mandate that we are given as Office of the National Chairman, we are here to talk, not to celebrate only the good, but as well to talk about the bad. Who is creating the friction? Those are the what? The technocrats. We need the technocrats. We need the whistleblowers. We need the service providers. We need the implementers, and as well the local person who is doing the do. And if we can't do the do, that means that we are going to collapse. As Office of the National Chairman, the campaign we are launching is boosting micro agriculture production and processing. Because we can't call ourselves Pearl of Africa when we still have people dying. Because of what? Because of hunger. We can't call ourselves Pearl of Africa, the green land, yet we are lacking seedlings to plant. We are talking about planting trees. People are not going to eat trees. People need food. And we are talking about, we have always had the national chairman, the president, His Excellency Eric Museveni, talking about the 4-acre model, which is a very good concept and very good and ideological, but unfortunately, what are we going to plant there? When we rate the cattle sector, those people who are rearing cattle, meat at itself is at 20,000 and in some areas it's at 22,000. But why does it go to that extent? It's just because we have undermined the key factor of agriculture. Agriculture facilitates the animal sector, the cattle rearing, the poultry. It facilitates all those other factors. But if at all, at the moment we have the season is starting soon. Money was diverted to parish development model so that people can buy seedlings themselves. But if we are talking about buying seedlings, at the moment we had a what? Due to climate change, at the moment we don't have any produce apart from the matoka I see around. And if we don't have that, that means we are going to experience drought next year. We are going to reach an extent whereby we can't even have what? We can't even afford to buy a kilo of sugar. Because even what I'm hearing from Busoga is that they are going to cut off what? They are going to do the cutting of the sugarcane what? Plantations there. So if they are going to do that, at the moment, money meant for parish development model has not yet reached the parishes. Yet the season is starting. So you people, where do you expect the farmers to get money from to cater for the seedlings? Because you diverted the money, you forced the president to divert the money because you told him that it is a good concept. Yes, we agree it is a good concept, and if we call it our A game to win this whole thing of the called poverty. Are we going to change the narrative by giving us the parish development? Because now the season is on. We are not seeing ministers or the Minister of Agriculture availing, because we are used. You people spoiled Ugandans. You spoiled farmers by availing them with what? With seeds. But at the moment, we don't have the seeds to give to the farmers. And we are past time. The government has no resources. The ministry itself, because I wrote to the ministry and I called the minister, because she's my colleague, I called the Honorable Desire. I asked, he said, Hadija, you have to be patient. We have no seedlings. Yes, we want to up the game of coffee. But when you talk about coffee, at the moment, coffee, cutting of Corona coffee is at 3,000. So if it's at 3,000, someone has a 4-acre model without the input of government or getting seedlings from elsewhere, from the cooperatives that are also already doomed. So where do you expect the farmers to get the seeds from to plant? We said that people are considering Chida Chonka, but even what to sell, what is there for what? What is there for besides the home consumption? But what is there to sell? I'm speaking as a Ugandan. I know you are going to attack me, but I have to talk about the bad that is there. You technocrats that diverted the president from availing us, the poor people, with seedlings at the moment. Yesterday I was in the village. I saw that people are not planting anything, and people even are like, they have lost interest. So if we are saying that our A game is coffee, and of which coffee we purchase at 3,000, that is cutting. And at the end of the day, we had tea before, and tea bypassed the limit. Even it moved from even the 30% where it was. Now it is at 0.8%, whereby they advise the national chairman, they advise the president to tell tea growers to divert from tea to another sector. We thought that the amendments in the coffee, the coffee acts would create change. But where are the seedlings to avail to the public? So our run is going to be that, boosting micro-agriculture production and processing. We are going to be running it countrywide, and I know people are going to come and attack us and do what for us. We don't give a damn. Because people are dying, no one is there to talk about that. We are staking in poverty, not because we are too broke, but because people's mindset was changed. There was a diversion of funds. We urge the Minister for Agriculture to look into it, and we have written a document to Parliament. Because when we read the percentage of people who are in farming, they are 70% Ugandans. The 20% are in other kind of works. And maybe the 5%, the 10% are totally doing nothing. So, how are we going to maintain the status quo of the 70% minus availing them with seedlings, saying that we have money for parish development model, which is yes, and it's a good concept. But was it really necessary for all the funds to be packaged into one particular concept, leaving the other concept that has enabled Ugandans earn a living, besides earning a living, getting what to eat, and boosting the agricultural sector, and boosting the country's economy? Really, was it really necessary? So, as Ugandans, we have to talk about it. As Office of the National Chairperson, we are going to move the talk, and we are going to walk the talk and speak what is right, and as well ensure that the implementation is not subdivided or it's not left behind, but rather it has lived to its full expectation. At the end of the day, we are expecting Minister of Agriculture to avail us with seeds. And we are tired of begging for air to breathe. We want to be the air itself. Because we are Ugandans. Farmers are Ugandans, but they are left out. You have always come up with cooperatives. Which cooperatives are there also to make money, not to change the narrative? Yes, we had cotton, but even the granaries that we had, they are already no longer in existence. Bananga omuntu agoyinga ewanga muna Uganda. Are we selling off the country, leaving it bleeding, or we are changing the narrative, targeting the what? The middle income status? Because you can't tell us we are targeting middle income status when people are still stinking in poverty, when people don't have what to eat, when animals are dying because maybe of the what? The kind of food they eat, and by the way, the extra chemicals. Because we get chemicals, I wonder what the Uganda Bureau of Standards, over what is it doing? You technocrats. We don't really understand. Either you're paid money to fail the state or the country, or you're doing it intentionally, or you're being bribed to ensure that you meet your goals. I don't know. But that won't stop us from speaking the extra chemicals that are veiled on market. I don't know where where you guys get the chemicals from, or where even whether these people pay taxes or they don't pay taxes. But for the good of this nation, we are hereby launching a campaign of boosting micro-agricultural production and processing. Because for us, we are poor, we are not rich like you people. You people who are working in those big offices, we are poor Ugandans who need consideration. We are not here to force for love. A man has to come and present the love to us, not us enforcing ourselves on men. I understand women, you know that very clearly. So we have to walk the talk. And I think whatever we are doing is constitutional, and we need to meet our targets as Ugandans, the climate and agroecological conditions of each region, because the regions also differ, the crops, and we even to be mindful about the kind of crops we are giving. Let the food flow on market rather than not being available on market. Because before we used to have what? We had, they told us about cassava, that they are going to do what? To do value addition in cassava and create what? Cassava flour. I don't know where it ended. We had about maize. And maize even itself at the moment is not enough. Before it was past. I remember that by the time I used to work with the genocide in Saleh, we had too much what? Too much maize. Maize was flopping on market, but maize rather flops on market rather than not being available. Because when it flops, we shall get to know that people are overdoing the farming. But people dying because there is nothing to eat. I think Uganda is past that. And we have to fight hard to ensure that all this changes. So the actual needs and production capacity of the farmers, transparent targeting and distribution of mechanisms, stronger monitoring to prevent diversion and ensure inputs reach intended beneficiaries. So as Office of the National Chairperson that brought the President into power, we won't accept those kind of diversions. Okay, let the ministry, we beg the Ministry of Finance to look for any other avenues to create resources to buy or to cater for the seedlings, the coffee, the maize, the beans, the what, and avail them to farmers. Because Uganda momo ababbi. Kati twaguba, we are used to do what? To being given. And if you're talking about money receiving from Parish development model, farmers have children to go to school, and the people have just gotten their what? Holidays, whereby by the time money for Parish development model comes, people are going to be paying for school fees. That's why you see the rate at which people are paying back is minimal. Not because they don't have the capacity, but money was diverted. And it was diverted just because the Muzei was misinformed. If he was misinformed, yes, people want a startup of 1M. But now, if you were to buy cutting, each costing 3,000, how many, what will be the what? What will be the input or the outcome of those seedlings? Would it have catered for the 4-acre model, or it will be limited? So whoever whoever thinks that what we have done is not right, it's our mandate. We have to talk about the bad. We are tired of the poverty because we are not meant to be poor. But the poor system and the poor policies that were created, I don't know, because people wanted money or because what they wanted to show to the president that this is better, I don't know. But as of now, people are dying because they don't have anything to eat. And what has brought that, we are not going to blame climate change. We have to be prepared and be in position to carry out irrigation in time. But what are you...
Oh, ikusabula TV.